Having a rough day. This morning my alarm didn't go off. I accidentally broke a mug, and then I got sprayed by a sprinkler on the way to work. So yeah, I'm basically a female protagonist in a romantic comedy. I'm beautiful, but nobody notices me. I live in a giant apartment that I can't afford. I've been dating the same person for 10 years, but they won't commit. If there is a movie about my life, it would be called My Big Fat Non-Existent Wedding. That's how rom-com my life is. So yeah, I've been dating my girlfriend for 10 years, but she's the holdup, not me. She says we can't get engaged until I'm a working writer and we're good enough to get in the New York Times wedding section. So our kids are going to be vain and adopted. My girlfriend's Jewish, but a lot of people don't know she's Jewish because she has blonde hair, blue eyes, and is bad with money. Being Jewish is weird because we're the only group that can't recognize other people in the same group. Hear me out. If you're black and you see someone walking down the street, you can tell if they're black. But for Jews, we have no idea. Like the other day, I saw this guy and I was like, well, he's awkward looking and he's reading a book, but he's got a tattoo, so I don't know. Could be Armenian. My girlfriend's obsessed with being the best. I was telling her how my family's last name used to be Razumyansky, which means wise man, because back in Russia, my great-great-grandfather was the village wise man, and people would come from all over the village to get his advice. Which I think is pretty cool. So I was telling my girlfriend, she's like, well, how good was he? It wasn't enough that he was the wisest man in his village. He'd be the wisest man in every village. So I go to my dad and I was like, how good was he? And my dad's like, he was so good even the non-Jews went to him. You think Gentiles went to a Jewish wise man? Like the Tsar's goons are all standing around. Hey, I need advice. Should we go to the priest? No, let's get a fiddler on the roof. He looks wise. My dad is super Jewy. He's having a second bar mitzvah this summer and he's forcing us all to come. For the record, that's not a thing. You can't turn 13 twice. It's one time only. I feel like I went back to the future and I have to make sure my dad nails his Torah portion or I'll never be born. Get away from the Torah, Biff. It's my dad's turn to read Hebrew. Stop flirting with my mom. It's getting weird. My dad is afraid of everything. He recently went to South Africa on vacation and sent me a 600-word email about what to do if he gets eaten by lions. Lions eat rhinos and gazelles. They don't eat tour buses from Connecticut. You're fine. My dad's like a really paranoid version of Mufasa. You must take your place in the circle of life. Call my accountant. Get a new executive for my will. Pick up my car from the dealership. And make sure I get buried at a Jewish cemetery. Fuck Hakuna Matata. I had dinner with my dad and my uncle the other night. My dad and my uncle are very different. My dad is a Harvard-educated lawyer, and my uncle is a substitute teacher trying to break into the cartoon voiceover business. This is why it's important to breastfeed all your kids, okay? You can't play favorites. My uncle's crazy. I have another uncle who's schizophrenic, and my cartoon uncle is still my crazy uncle. He tries out all his voices while he's teaching. He's been doing this for over 4 years. None of his students know what his normal voice sounds like. Sometimes it's Mickey Mouse, sometimes it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, sometimes it's an Asian man who's Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. Really makes sex ed fun, though. Best sub for sex ed. My favorite story about my uncle is one time he got pulled over for running a red light and the cop asked to see his ID, and on the back under organ donation he wrote, everything except my wanger. And the cop laughed so hard that he let him go. But when my dad tells the story, he says, you know, you should donate all of your organs, including your wanger, because someone might need them. We understand sarcasm. Do you really think I'd withhold a body part for the sake of a joke? I'm lying on my deathbed. You can have all my organs, except my wanger. But Ben, we really need it. Zing! My grandparents were Holocaust survivors. Whenever I tell other Jews, they always ask me what camps they were in. I don't think people realize these weren't fraternities. My grandfather and your grandfather didn't play against each other in the Auschwitz Bergen-Belsen intramural soccer league. All right, so I got him, Ben Rosen. Thank you.